लोकस्य भवाय विभवाय च अवतीर्णोष अंशभागेन साम्प्रतं patiराशिषाम्. Appearing in bodies like those of an ordinary fish, tortoise, and hog, you exhibit activities impossible for such creatures to perform. Extraordinary, incomparable, transcendental activities of unlimited power and strength. These bodies of yours, therefore, are not made of material elements, but are incarnation of your Supreme Personality. You are the same Supreme Personality of Godhead who have now appeared with full potency for the benefit of all living entities within this material world. Nama Param Kalyanam, Nama Param Kalyana, Nama Param Mangala, Vasudevaya Shantaya Yadunam Pataye Namaha. O supremely auspicious, we offer our respectful obeisances unto you, who are the Supreme God. O most famous descendant and controller of the Yadu dynasty, O son of Vasudev, O most peaceful, let us offer our obeisances unto your lotus feet. अनुजानीहि नो भूमं तवानुचर किङ्करो दर्शनो भगवत रूषे आसीद अनुग्रहात्. O Supreme Form, we are always servant of your servant, especially of Narad Muni. Now give us permission to leave for our home. It is by the grace and mercy of Narad Muni that we have been able to see your face to face. वाणी गुणानुकथने श्रवणो कथायां हस्तो च कर्मसु मनस्तव पादयो नः स्मृत्यां शिरस्तव निवास जगत् प्रणामे दृष्टि सतां दर्शनेस्तु भवत्तनूनाम्. Henceforward, may all our words describe your pastimes. May our ears engage in oral reception of your glories. May our hands, legs, and other senses engage in actions pleasing to you. And may our mind always think of your lotus feet. May our heads offer our obeisances to everything within this world, because all things are also your different forms. And may our eyes see the form of Vaishnavas who are not different from you. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai ho. Okay. Now I'm doing a small Rajidham Mahima Stotram. 1 minute. हाँ. श्री व्रजधाम महिमामृत की जय हो. जय राधे जय कृष्ण जय वृंदावन श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मदन मोहन श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरी गोवर्धन कालिंदी यमुना जय जय महावन केशी घाट वंशी वट द्वादश कानन जहाँ सब लीला केले श्री नंद नंदना श्री नंद यशोदा जय जय गोपगान श्री दामादि जय जय धेनुवत्सगान जय वृषभानु जय कीर्तिदा सुंदरी जय पौर्णमासी जय आभिरनगरी जय जय गोपेश्वर वृंदावन माजा जय जय कृष्ण सखा बटु द्विजराज जय राम घाट जय रोहिणी नंदन जय जय वृंदावन वासियत जन जय द्विज पत्नी जय नागकन्या गाणा भक्ति ते जहार पायले गोविंद चरण श्री रास मंडल जय जय राधा श्याम जय जय रास लीला सर्व मनोरम जय जय ज्वल रस सर्व रस सार पर किया भावे जहाँ व्रजेते प्रचार श्री जानवा पाद पद्म करिया स्मरण दीन कृष्ण दास कहे नाम संकीर्तन हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Now translation. Hari Bol. हाँ. All glories to Radha and Krishna and the divine forest of Vrindavan. All glories to the three preceding deities of Vrindavan, Sri Govind, Gopinath and Madan Mohan. All glories to Shyamakund, Radha Kund, Govardhan Hills and the Yamuna River, Kalindi. All glories to the great forest known as Mahavan, where Krishna and Balram display all their childhood pastimes. All glories to Keshi Ghat, where Krishna killed the Keshi demon. All glories to the Vamsi Vat tree, where Krishna attracted all the gopis to come by playing his flute. Glories to all the 12 forests of Raja. At this place is the son of Nanda, Sri Krishna performed all his pastimes. All glories to Krishna's divine father and mother, Nanda and Yashoda. All glories to the cowherd boys headed by Sri Dama and all older brother, older brother of the Srimati Radharani Anangamanjari. All glories to the cows and calves of the Vraja. All glories to Radha's divine father and mother, Vrishabhanu and the beautiful Kritida. All glories to Puranmasi, the mother of Sandipani Muni, grandmother of Madhumangala and Nandimukhi, and beloved disciple of Devarshi Narad. All glories to the young cowherd maidens of Raja. All glories to Gopeshwara Shiva, who reside in Vrindavan in order to protect the holy Dham. All glories to Krishna's funny Brahmana friend Madhumangala. All glories to Ramaghat, where Lord Balram performed his Rasa dance. All glories to Lord Balram, the son of Rohini. All glories to all the residents of Vrindavan. Glories to the wives of the proud Vedic Brahmanas. All glories to the wives of Kalya Sarpan. Through pure devotion, they all obtained the lotus feet of Lord Govinda. All glories to the place where the Ras dance of Sri Krishna was performed. All glories to Radha and Shyam. All glories to the divine Ras dance, which is the most beautiful of all Lord Krishna's pastimes. All glories to the mirrors of conjugal love, which is the most excellent of all rasa, and it is propagated in Vraja by Sri Krishna in the form of the divine Parakya Bhav, Paramar love. Remembering the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda at concert, Sri Janava Devi, this very fallen and lowly servant of Krishna, sing the Sankirtan of the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Shri Prabhupada ki jai ho, Vrindavan Dham ki jai ho. Thank you, Prabhuji. Dandat pranam to all devotees. Thank you for so wonderful, Shri Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mataji. Dandavat Pranam. Such a wonderful Kirtan Seva. Especially thank you for doing the hymns of Nalakuvera and Manigriva, which we'll be doing in today's class. So let us start with the invocation prayers. Om Ajnantimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सगण रघुनाथं वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखावितंश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमस्तुते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नामिने गौरतिषे नमः O most magnificent incarnation, you are Krishna himself, appearing as Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You have assumed the golden color of Srimati Radharani, and you are widely distributing pure love of Krishna. We offer our respectful obeisances unto you. कृष्णवर्णं तुषा कृष्णं साङ्गपाङ्गश्चपार्षदं यज्ञैः सङ्कीर्तनप्रायैर्यजन्तीः सुमेधसः. In the age of Kali, intelligent persons perform congregational chanting to worship the incarnation of Godhead, who is constantly singing the names of Krishna. Although his complexion is not blackish, he is Krishna himself. He is accompanied by his associates, servants, weapons, and confidential companions. Praise to the six Goswamis of Vrindavan. Nana Shastra Vicharanaika Nipunau Shadadharma Samstapakau लोकानां हितकारिणौ त्रिभुवने मान्यौ शरण्याकरौ राधा कृष्ण पदारविन्द भजना नन्देन मत्तालिकौ वन्दे रूप सनातनौ रघुयुगौ श्रीजीव गोपालकौ I offer my respectful obeisances to the six Goswamis of Vrindavan, namely Sri Rupa Goswami, Sri Sanatan Goswami, Sri Raghunath Das Goswami, Sri Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, Sri Jiva Goswami, and Sri Gopala Bhatta Goswami, who are expert in scrutinizingly studying all the revealed scriptures with the aim of establishing eternal religious principles for the benefit of living beings. Thus, they are honored all over the three worlds and are worth taking shelter because they are absorbed in the mood of the gopis and are engaged in the transcendental loving service of Shri Radha and Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayet Nashtaprayeshu Bhatreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Naishtiki Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. Danvat Pranam to Charu Prabhuji, Sharad Prabhuji and all the assembled devotees. So today we will start with lesson 39, and before that we have a recap of lesson 38. So Sanjeev Prabhuji will be doing the recap. Over to you, Sanjeev Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Pankaj. Sorry, I will just share my screen. Okay. So, Hare Krishna, very wonderful Kirtan Mataji. Thank you so much. So let's do a quick
Prabhuji,
recap.
your volume, we can't hear you.
Okay, Mataji. Hare Krishna, is it better?
Little more, Prabhuji. Volume is very low.
1 minute, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Is it
Yes,
better?
Prabhuji.
Yeah,
Okay.
much better now. Much better.
Yeah, I just had to switch. Sorry. Hare Krishna, Dhanwas Pranam. Welcome everyone. And let us do recap of lesson 38, which is chapter 9 we did last week related to Damodar Leela or Mother Yashoda binding Krishna with the Ulupula. So, oh,
But you can make a
Yash,
full slide, full screen slide.
yes, Prabhu, yes. Yeah. I will start with the first question. Yashoda is, and then do it. Yashoda is called Yashoda because of what? Why is Mother Yashoda called Yashoda? Who can explain? Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, may I? Yes,
Yes.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. यशोदा मीन्स यश देने वाले, भगवान को यश देने प्रदान करने वाले, जो वो
Correct.
भगवान का यश गाने वाले.
Correct. Sitting down so I can take the full screen. This is,
Prabhuji, it's lesson 38 that you're looking for.
put on here, 15
It's 39. Previous email.
1 minute. Sorry, I just had to change my laptop. That's why I lost all the.
Oh, somebody could show 38 PowerPoint,
Okay,
please.
there we go. And yes, yes. I'm showing that now. Yes.
Okay, good.
So, what does the phrase Nanda Gehini signify? After that, Nanda Gehini. What does that mean? I can share the slides also. Previous one.
Can I answer?
Yes, yes. Yes.
It means
Nanda.
that she is the wife or the queen of Nanda.
Hmm.
Geha means house. So she's the queen of the house and it indicates that she has a lot of wealth and she can hire many maid servants. And still, when the maid servants were engaged in other tasks, because of the Indra Yajna was coming up, so Yashoda herself was churning the yogurt to produce fresh butter for Krishna and for the deities.
Correct, correct. That's right, Mataji. Yeah. Thank you. Then we continue. Exemplify Yashoda would only take the very best of everything for her son. What is the example of that? What situation exemplifies that? Um, so
May
let's
I,
see.
Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji, yes.
Yashoda takes a milk for 6, 7 cows only out of the so many lakhs cows. The cows which whose milk is just like is very tasty and whose milk is very tasty and butter. I mean to say that milk is very tasty, and out of that milk, the butter and the yogurt is very tasty. And Yashoda tries to give best of the milk products so that Krishna need not to go to the gopis house to steal this.
Yes, yes, yes. Yes, she had zillions of cows, as we see here. Out of that, 7 or 8 cows that graze
Jillions
on
cows, out of jillion cows.
which graze on a very aromatic grass, Padmagandha, and they were named like
Yes,
Padma, so they will give the best quality milk. So she's
smell like lotus.
yes, yes.
Milk
So
is
take away
fragrant and
learning for
tasty.
us that what we can learn from these exalted devotee, we should give best of best for available for the Lord, right? That is the takeaway. Not like, okay, whatever left over, then I give to Lord. That is generally many people have, not devotees. Oh, okay, this is extra, this I give to Lord. No, no, no. Give the best to the Lord, right? How did Yashoda conclude that the breaking of the churning pot was the work of Krishna? Was the work of Krishna? And how did she infer where exactly she will find Krishna? What? Okay, well, let's answer these two questions first. Uh, Let us see who is there. Nilima Mataji, Saki Mataji, you want to try? Or Ramya Mataji?
Let me get my note.
Hare Krishna, Saki Mataji. So I will repeat the question for you. How did Yashoda conclude that the breaking of the churning pot was the work of Krishna? And how did she infer where exactly she will find Krishna? I will share the slides also for you. Okay, maybe anyone else want to try?
यस प्रभु जी, मैं इफ
Yes,
नीलिमा
yes,
माता जी
Prabhu.
प्लीज, आपको देना है तो आप पहले दे सकते हो.
Go ahead, Mataji. Lakshmi
ओके ओके, हाँ हाँ. जब कृष्णा ने बटर का पोट फोड़ दिया और माता जी अंदर थे किचन में, अपने उबला हुआ दूध जल्दी से लेने को गए, तब तक कृष्णा बहुत ही गुस्से हो गए और उन्होंने पोट को तोड़ दिया. फिर वो दूसरे जहाँ पे सब पोट रखे हैं वहां पे गए, मगर और तभी यशोदा मैया वापिस जब आए तो उन्होंने देखा कि जो भी वो फैला हुआ था, जो था बटर मिल्क, उसमें छोटे छोटे पैरों के निशान थे. तो सो उनको तुरंत ही मालूम हो गया कि ये सारा जो काम है वो कृष्णा का है. और उनके कमर पे जो बेल्स बांधी थी, तो उसकी भी आवाज, वो चलते चलते जा रहे थे तो वो रूम में, तो उनको मालूम पड़ गया कि ये सारा उद्यम जो मचाया है वो कृष्णा का ही है.
Yes, very
हरे
wonderful.
कृष्णा.
Yes. So that is where our first CID team started, criminal investigation. But this is for the Lord, right? So that was. So then, उसके बाद फिर what was the disciplinary action and the threat she gave to Krishna? How did she threaten? Radha Govind Prabhu ji, want to try? Or Natya Saki Mata ji?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. She wants to
Yes, Prashant
beat
Prabhu,
him
very
with
nice.
his
Please
stick,
try.
Prabhu. She's tried to beat with his stick or something like that. Yeah, stick only.
Yes, correct. She pulls up her stick, and that
Stick.
stick makes
And Krishna was
the
literally
Lord.
scared.
Correct. The
वो
Lord
क्या
is very scared.
थ्रेड क्या दी थी कि मैं तुम्हें अब और से कुछ नहीं दूंगी और तुम्हारे फ्रेंड्स के पास जाने नहीं दूंगी, तुम मिले फ्रेंड्स के पास खेलने के लिए जाने नहीं मिलेगा.
हाँ,
Now no more special treat
no
for
more
you.
special treat. Yeah.
In today's world, I have to threaten my kid, if you don't do this, no more TV. But this is Krishna, right? So no more.
अभी टीवी भी चलाए प्रभु, no mobile.
No more mobile and also.
प्रभु जी, मोबाइल भी होगा मगर नो नेटवर्क.
No
उसका
network.
वो अभी तो मेरी लड़की है, वो तो उसके पास वो टैब क्या बोलता है, उसको बोलता है, वो ले लेंगे रोज से खेलते हैं ना आजकल के बच्चे, छोटे बच्चे भी कंप्यूटर टेबल पे वो खेलते हैं ना बच्चे. वो क्या कंप्यूटर जो है ना होता है इसमें, तो सब उसकी छोटे बच्चे की कहानियां होती है उसमें.
टैबलेट.
हाँ टैबलेट, यस, ले लेंगी. तो मेरा जो ग्रैंडसन है, he is very sensitive to the, very addicted to that, and उसको फिर कहती है कि you will get a stare out, वो रूम के पीछे उल्टा मुंह करके दीवार को सामने देकर बिठा देती है उसको.
That is the transformation here.
It's a modern way of doing it.
Yeah, that's a fact. Okay, let's continue. The next question is, how do our Acharya explain built-in contradiction within Krishna? The anger of Krishna, who has no anger, Bhitavat, as if very much afraid, and yet he was not afraid of Yashoda carrying the stick. And Krishna being delimited and non-delimited at the same time. What made her finally throw away his stick?
Sorry, Prabhu, to interrupt.
Yes.
I think you missed out the fourth question, if I'm not mistaken.
Who did I? Okay. Yes, you're right, Mother. I jumped. Okay. Okay, I will go back to fourth. So that's a wonderful, that's the main question here. How do our Acharya respond to the critics of the statement to attend to the boiling milk? Yashoda interrupted her breastfeeding of Krishna, but yet why she was not at fault? So,
Very important question, actually.
yes. So, despite she left her current seva and went to attend the tending milk, why she was not at fault? Oh, sorry, not here. The answer is here. So,
So, can I
yes,
try?
yes, Mataji, yes.
So, first of all, why she didn't go to the fireplace by taking him along with her is because it would have prevented her from reaching in time. She had to rush speedily, and she was not at a fault for going away from him, because it was just a small, a few seconds only, and her ultimate objective was to make Krishna happy, because she was going to finally use that milk in his service.
Correct. Yes. And also Prabhupada explains in the purport for this that as devotees, we might have different sevas. So if we are doing it right, then Krishna within us gives us the intelligence how to prioritize one over other.
Prabhuji, your voice is not audible. Please.
Hare Krishna. I will try. Is it better now? Yeah.
Yes, better.
Okay.
It is
Okay.
better
Thank you,
now.
Mataji. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Mataji. Correct answer. Now, question 5.
For
How
anger, Prabhuji. For anger is not anger. That was a question.
ये
English
बोला
word है
The
ना?
anger of Krishna who has no anger.
English word है, संस्कृत word है भीतवत.
हाँ,
ये वाला किया हमने फिफ्थ. हाँ, ये हो गया. सॉरी आई मिस द फोर्थ
वो
वन.
सब
ओके.
कॉन्ट्रडिक्शन में आ जाएगा सब.
Yes.
जो उसके
Okay. So
सब इतने सारे
now this one correct.
कॉन्ट्रडिक्शन,
Yeah.
सेल्फ बिल्ट इन कॉन्ट्रडिक्शन है.
Okay. So who want
प्रभु
to
जी
take
यहाँ पे
question
भगवान
6? The contradiction
भगवान जो
within Krishna.
हाँ प्रभु जी, तो यहाँ पे ये बताया गया है बहुत ही क्लियरली. भगवान ने भगवान जो संकल्प लेते हैं तो उसका सब काम अच्छे से हो जाता है, क्योंकि वो एंगर भी दिखाना चाहते थे, क्योंकि माता के सामने वो एक्टिंग कर रहे थे, तो वो अच्छे से वो सब पूरा जो प्रेजेंटेशन है वो बहुत ही परफेक्ट करते हैं भगवान. ऐसे सत्य काम, वो जो उनकी शक्ति जो है वो उनसे बहुत ही अच्छे से काम करवाती है. तो यहाँ पे जो एंगर भी है वो भी मैनिफेस्ट हो जाता है, क्योंकि उनको जो वात्सल्य रस जो माता माता यशोदा को भी संतोष देना है उनको, कि मैंने आज उनको पनिशमेंट दी, तो वो और एक डिसिप्लिन सिखाने के लिए, तो भगवान भी इतने अच्छे से डरते भी है, और वो पूरा अपना जो तो मगर कभी भी भगवान ऐसे डरते नहीं है, भगवान कभी भी गुस्से नहीं होते हैं. मगर हम यहाँ पे देख सकते हैं कि जो सबको भगवान इतने डर जाते हैं, मगर यहाँ पे वो ये है कि भगवान को अपना एक साइमल्टेनियसली सब काम करना है. डरते भी है, माता को संतोष भी देना है, और अपनी एक लीला जो नारद मुनि को जो वचन दिया था वो भी, उनके जो वर्ड है उनको भी प्रूव करना है. तो आज वो लीला का समय भी आ गया था, वो पास टाइम का लीला का करने का, तो एक साथ में भगवान सारे काम कर रहे हैं. हरे
एक्चुअली
कृष्ण.
भगवान को ये भी पता था कि मेरी मैया मुझे बहुत प्यार करती है.
हाँ, वात्सल्य रस को भगवान एंजॉय करना चाहते थे, और साथ साथ में लीला का भी प्लानिंग कर रहे थे, और साथ साथ में अपना पूरा संकल्प ले रहे थे, भगवान एंजॉय कर रहे थे.
वो मदर की गोदी में बैठ के उनकी बाजू का उनका आनंद लेना भी चाह रहे थे, कि मदर मुझे अपने उसमें मुझे ब्रेस्ट फीड करेगी तो मुझे अपनी गोदी में लेगी और मुझे वो आनंद मिलेगा उनके डिवाइन हैंड से. तो और मदर को भी वो खुद भी लेना चाह रहे थे और मदर को भी देना चाह रहे थे. जो मदर को ब्रेस्ट फीड करने में जो आनंद आता है तो वो भी मदर को देना चाह रहे थे.
सबको. वेरी गुड माता जी, बहन जी, वेरी गुड.
थैंक यू बहन जी.
Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. दिया आप दोनों माता जी ने. So on the matter, what and how many ropes Yashoda could find to bind her son to a mortar, they always ended up short by 2 fingers. But then why Krishna eventually allowed her to bind him? So 2 fingers question. Yes, Nitya Sakhi
Yeah,
Mataji, Radhavinath
yeah,
Prabhu. Yes,
yeah.
yes,
Hare
Mataji,
Krishna.
please speak. Yes.
The 2 finger shot, it represents mercy and endeavors, which are mercy from Lord and endeavors of devotees. They are important. And here the important point is Lord surrenders to the one who surrenders him. So as Yashoda Maya surrendered to Lord Krishna, so Lord excused her, and so he also surrenders to herself. Hare
Very good.
Krishna.
Correct, Mataji. Perfect.
Good, Mataji.
The 2 fingers. So when Mother Yashoda is perspiring, that's where Krishna agrees to get himself bound. So when we put our endeavor, then we get Lord's mercy. So what is in our control is our endeavor. How Lord gives mercy in what form and where and how, that we cannot calculate. There is no algorithm. So yes, thank you, Mother.
So finally, how did he agree then? Do we get bound?
प्रभु जी मैं बता सकती हूँ?
हाँ,
Yes.
बताइए. और कुछ
Yes,
और
प्रभु
कोई
जी.
नहीं है क्या और कोई नहीं है?
हाँ हाँ
क्वेश्चन
बताइए.
भाई जी, क्वेश्चन नहीं, मेरे एक्चुअली इज नॉट सुनाई नहीं दिया क्वेश्चन.
मैं वापस बताता हूँ.
रिपीट
What is
कीजिए
the
बच्चे.
हिंदी में बोलूं?
नहीं
Note की
नहीं,
कोशिश.
वो किसी में भी बोल दीजिएगा.
अच्छा नहीं, ओके, नहीं वो थोड़ा सोचना पड़ेगा.
इंग्लिश में बोलिएगा प्रभु.
Philosophical
प्रभु जी
explanation.
सुनाई.
हाँ, I'm reading it. What are the philosophical explanation of our Acharyas on the fact that no matter what and how many rope Yashoda could find to bind her son to the mortar, they always ended up short by 2 fingers. तो ये तो माता जी ने आंसर कर दिया. The 2 finger short represent our endeavor and Krishna's mercy. Then the next question is why Krishna eventually allowed her to bind him. ये हमको आंसर करना है कि फाइनली कृष्णा कैसे एग्री हो गए, क्यों एग्री हो गए.
एक्चुअली कृष्णा जी जो पहले टाई अप नहीं हो,
which I believe partly. Yeah, go ahead.
सॉरी प्रभु जी.
Yeah, please say.
एक्चुअली जो टाई अप नहीं हो रहे थे कृष्णा जी, 2 फिंगर्स शॉर्ट पड़ जाता था रोप. वो एक्चुअली उनकी लीला थी, लेकिन जब उन्होंने देखा कि मदर यशोदा ट्राई कर रही हैं और वो उनको देख के फिर उनको लगा कि मैं अपने आप सरेंडर करूं और मुझे वो ताकि मुझे वो टाई अप कर सकें.
उसके पीछे एक दूसरा भी बहुत ही अच्छा रीजन था कि उनका इंडेवर देखा भगवान ने, क्योंकि वो सुबह से ये लीला शुरू थी, सुबह से, और शाम होने आ गई थी शाम, और तब से माता कुछ भी करके आज उन्होंने संकल्प लिया था कि आज मैं कृष्ण को बांध के रहूंगी, क्योंकि इसको डिसिप्लिन में मुझे सिखाना है उनको. जैसे ही फिर वो दूसरे घर पे जाके ये सब उधम न मचाए, तो आज मुझे उनको ये करना ही है. तो माता का भी एक संकल्प था और कृष्णा का भी एक संकल्प है कि मैं नहीं बंधूंगा. मगर फिर उन्होंने देखा कि आज माता पूरा दिन ये जो उन्होंने प्रयास किया है, तो और ऐश्वर्य के सामने वात्सल्य भाव जो है वो हार जाता है, ऐश्वर्य भाव हार जाता है उनके प्रेम के द्वारा. तो भगवान हमेशा वो भी देखते हैं कि प्रेम कैसा कितना है. हम इंडिवर तो भी करते हैं, मगर हम कितने प्रेम से भी करते हैं, तो भगवान बाइंड हो जाते हैं. तो भगवान भक्त वत्सल है और भक्त आधीन भी है. तो भगवान फिर अंत में बंध जाते हैं.
भगवान के
उनका
कई सारे रीजन थे अपने खुद के ना. देखो वो मणिग्रीव मणिग्रीव
हाँ
जो
वो
है,
भी था. हाँ यस,
उनको
उनका भी
रिलीज करना था.
लिबरेशन
तो
करना
कई
था.
सारे
यस
रीजन है वो, कई चैप्टर तक चलते रहते हैं ना.
यस यस यस. और एट ए टाइम उनके बहुत ही संकल्प है जो उनको एक ही लीला में सबको. हम तो एक भगवत प्रभु जी गुजराती में कहते हैं एक कांकरे बे पक्षी मारवा.
वेरी गुड.
मगर यहाँ पे भगवान तो एक कांकरे सारा पक्षी मारे छे. Yes, એવું છે.
So many objectives he has, but in all one particular लीला, ये जो दामोदर लीला है, कितने सारे objectives है उसमें. चलिए आगे बढ़िए, आगे बढ़िए.
Yes, so I think that was the last question. So now I hand over to Raksha Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji, and thank you everyone. So nicely answered.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you so much for making us revise the whole chapter. And thank you all for participating. Prabhuji, shall I start with today's class?
Yes, Mataji, please.
So I seek your blessings, Sharad Prabhuji's blessings, and the blessings of all the assembled devotees. Please bless me.
ये बहुत ही important lesson है, आप बड़ा ध्यान से सुनिए, okay?
Okay, so Sanjeev Prabhuji today did the recap of lesson 38, and today we will start chapter 10, which is lesson 39. So here in this particular slide, Prabhuji has mentioned Lord Krishna's Vraja Leelas, the sequence of it in three, has classified into three parts. One is...
These slides I'm repeating that we already covered in lesson 29 when I gave you an overview of it.
Okay. So Prabhuji, should I go ahead or should I?
Just to briefly cover these three slides. Yeah. Main idea is that umar difference देखिए उसके कितने महीने किस कौमार लीला बाल्य लीला Pauganda Lila is also part of Balya Lila. What are temperatures chapters are covered, how many months old the Lord was, and then actually he acts, his Leelas are as if a few months older than that, according to the human kids in the standards, तब तक जब तक किशोर लीला नहीं हो जाती है.
Yeah, so Lord's...
So those points briefly cover. These three slides very quickly you can cover,
Okay, Prabhuji. So we see Lord Krishna's Vraja Leela classified in three parts. One is his Balya Leela or Kaumarya Leela, which is covered in from chapter 3 to 13 in age when Lord was when he was born up to 3 years and 4 months, which is 5 years as per human standards, according to Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's Sharartha Darshani. Then we see Lord's Pauganda Leela, which is covered in chapter 15 to 17, which is from 3 years, 4 months up to 6 years, 8 months, which is 6 years to 10 years as per the human standard. And the last is Lord's Kaishorya Leela, which is covered in chapter 18 to 28. In age, Lord was 6 years, 8 months till 10 years, 7 months, which is 11 years onwards to 15 years as per human standards. Now we will see all these Leelas in a sequence. So
now you don't have to read on the entire slide, but you can see all these Leelas we almost covered everything. Just from beginning to the end of all this that we almost covered.
Yeah. So I'll just...
The last few Leelas we are going to be covering this year. No? Yes. Damodar Leela is right here, see?
Yeah. 15 and 16 is the Damodar Leela. So we start off with Lord Krishna's birth, then his Jata Karma. Putana Moksha happens when Lord was 10 days old. Then
it's
Lord...
not Jata Karma, Jata Karma.
Jata Karma, sorry. Then Lord kicks the cart when he was 3 months old. Krishna and Balram Nam Karanam, which happens from the 10th day to 100th day, between this period. Then Lord Krishna's Anna Prashanam by Nanda Maharaj, which is mentioned in the Brahma Vaivarta Purana. Then Lord Krishna and Lord Balrama, they begin to crawl, which is covered in the 8th chapter. Lord Krishna and Balrama, they pull the tails of the cows and then they start walking. Then Lord Krishna, when he was 1 year old, he kills Trinavarta. Then Lord shows Yashoda Maya the universal form in his mouth for the first time. It is mentioned in the 7th chapter. He steals and eats the dairy products. Then he eats matti, earth. Then Lord again shows Mother Yashoda the universal form in his mouth for the second time in the 8th chapter. And then we see the Damodar Leela in the 9th chapter. And in today's class, we will be covering this particular event where this particular Leela where Lord addresses the two sons of Kuvera, Nala Kuvera and Manigriva, which is chapter 10. After that, Nanda Maharaj frees Krishna from the mortar. In 11th chapter, there is this Leela where the elderly gopis make Krishna sing and dance. Then Krishna fetches items at their bidding. After that, this very beautiful pastime of a fruit seller who gives fruits to Krishna, and in return, Lord fills her basket with lots of jewels. Then Mother Yashoda and Mother Rohini, they call Krishna Balram, who were playing near the river bank. After that, Lord kills Aghasura. Then followed by Krishna and Balram, they begin to tend small calves. And after that, Lord Krishna kills Vatsasura. He kills Bakasura. Then he invites his Gopa friends for lunch on the sandbank, which is wherein Lord Brahma abducts the cows and the Gopa friends of Krishna, and Lord Krishna.
कौन सी लीला है? ब्रह्म विमोहन लीला.
Brahma Vimohan Leela.
ये Mataji Archana Mataji is going to conduct series and series of lessons, probably more than a month and a half ago, a month and a half long. अर्चना माता जब तैयार हो जाएंगे ना बाद में बहुत लंबे समय तक माता जी
Yes, Prabhu, I see that.
अर्चना कर
Whole of
अर्चना
December
माता is
and
going to
January.
entertain us with those very very sweet pastimes, and I given her probably too many lessons.
No,
माता
very
जी
nice, Prabhu, very nice.
मुझे माफ कीजिएगा माता जी, आपके लिए मैंने
No,
बहुत
no, please, please. मुझे माफ कीजिए if I make a mistake. But it's wonderful because it's continuity रहेगी ना प्रभु, अच्छा रहेगा.
Yes.
Very nice. Thank you,
तो
Prabhu.
बहुत सारी वो सारी लीलाएं बहुत ही प्यारी लीला है.
Yeah. So Brahma Vimohan Leela is covered in 13th chapter, and finally Lord Brahma sees the four-handed form of Lord Krishna and he offers pranamas to Lord. And then Brahmaji glorifies Krishna in the 14th chapter.
So you pretty much it's an overview of the next few weeks. We'll be hearing that all the way up to the new year,
Yes.
beyond new year.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for enhancing our new year with such leelas.
Yes.
Okay, so let us start today's chapter 10, which is lesson 39. Again, a very beautiful leela while Krishna was still tied up to the mortar. This is when Lord Krishna uproots the Yamala Arjuna trees, which are the twin trees in the courtyard of Nanda Maharaj.
One minute, Mataji, 1 minute.
Yeah.
Actually, Sanskrit Yamala, Yamala that itself means twin.
Yeah.
And Arjuna trees, पता है वो देवदार वृक्ष कहते हैं हमें.
हाँ.
हिंदी में देवदार वृक्ष की branches नहीं होती है, वो सीधा grow करती है. And that is a special significance, stamba, like a pillar, that we'll be talking about later.
Yes. Thank you, Prabhuji, for highlighting that. So, Prabhuji has divided this chapter in 4 themes. In the first theme, we will see these two sons of Lord Kuvera. Their names are Nala Kuvera and Manigriva. They are.
Who was Kuvera? What was his position? He was actually these are demigods, Gandharvas and like that. Apsara bhi usi category mein aati hai. They are a little bit minor demigods, devas, compared with the chief demigods, Indra, Varuna, Agni Dev, and so on like that. Okay. The Kuvera was the devas, what you call Koshadhyaksha, means he was the treasurer of the demigods. So he was very rich because of that. And how his two sons were spoiled sons. That's the story.
Yeah. So his two sons, Nalakuvera and Manigriva, they were drunk and they were enjoying and sporting with women in a very holy place. Thereby, when Narad Muni was passing by, they ignored him and the Muni got angry and he wanted to teach them a lesson. So that is covered in theme 1. And then in theme 2, Lord, while he was tied up to the mortar, he just started crawling, and he made the mortar stuck. He went between the two trees, wherein the mortar got stuck in the trees, and then with great force, these two trees were uprooted, and these two sons of Kuvera, Nalakuvera and Manigriva, they got liberated. This will be seen in theme 2, which will cover verses 24 to 28. In all, there are 43 verses. And in the third theme, we will see these two Guyakas, which are the minor demigods. They are Nalakuvera and Manigriva were Guyakas. They were demigods. So they offer this hymn to Lord Krishna, which Raksha Mataji today she did in the Kirtan. She covered verses 29 to 38. And in the last theme, Lord Krishna responds to this prayer of these two sons of Kuveras, with which we will complete this chapter from verses 39 to 43. So now let us get started. We'll start off with the verse 1. Very beautifully, Sanjeev Prabhuji took the recap, wherein he again revised the whole Damodar Leela. So now we see that Krishna is still tied up to the mortar. He is little bit angry also with Mother Yashoda. And why? So this period of while he is tied up still had something to it. There was still this Leela going to happen. So he was still with the mortar. So here Parikshit Maharaj.
one minute Mataji. ठीक है, आप लोग ये समझना बहुत जरूरी है. भगवान एंग्री बिहेव करते हैं, एक्टिंग करते हैं, वो रियली नहीं एंग्री होती है. ही रियली ऑल द टाइम ही वाज रिलिशिंग. माता यशोदा का जो वात्सल्य प्रेम है, वो उसको बड़ी बड़ी उमंग से वो एंजॉय कर रहे हैं ना. तो एंगर दिखाते हैं, छोटे बच्चे कैसे एंगर हो जाते हैं, वो पूरी एक्टिंग करते हैं. ही इज नोबडी कैन एक्ट बेटर देन कृष्णा.
So he actually makes the whole pastime so real to us.
Exactly, human child.
Yeah. So here at this point, Parikshit Maharaj is asking Shukdev Goswami that what did these two sons of Kuvera, what did they do? Which abominable act they did that the Muni cursed them, Narad Muni cursed them? Was the reason of the curse what they were doing? Was it their abominable act, or was it because of the anger of Narad Muni? This is the question Parikshit Maharaj is asking to Shukdev Goswami as per Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. This is verse 1. Then in verse 2 and 3, Shukdev Goswami answers Parikshit Maharaj that these two sons of Kuvera, they were intoxicated heavily. They had this pride that they are Lord Shiva's followers. And not just that, they also had the pride that they were two sons of Kuvera. Kuvera, who is the treasure of the demigod. So they had this pride of wealth. Now what happens is when you are proud and when that pride gets into the head, person, the vices that follow are normally people get into women, gambling and liquor. This is what follows. So they were drunk in Varuni liquor, not just drunk, but they were drunk in a holy place. So it is mentioned that they wandered in the Kailasha hill, in the gardens on the bank of Mandakini Ganga river. And they were accompanied by singing women while drinking Varuni liquor, and their eyes were rolling out in intoxication. This was their state. And being naked, they were naked in the forest of Kailasha, and they were with naked women. Even at that time, they were sporting in this river, which is Mandakini Ganga river. And in sporting in this river is an offense. At that time, Narad Muni was passing by. So he saw this particular scene. And Narad Muni saw that, they are not in their senses at all. And they willingly ignored Narad Muni completely. Here the word that they have
that
mentioned
means
is,
it is not that did not notice it. They notice him,
yeah,
but because under the intoxication, they just, and after the great arrogance, they just ignored him.
yeah. It is also mentioned that they were enjoying in the waters of Mandakini like elephants. Why elephants? Because elephants are normally not restrained and they have this uncontrolled behavior. So when Narad Muni saw that they are not in their senses and they are not just intoxicated with liquor, but they are also intoxicated with arrogance. This is when Narad Muni thought that, they need to be taught a lesson. So
Pardon me, one more
although,
minute. One more minute, Mataji. I'm very sorry. I'm going to have to interrupt quite a few long times because इनमें जो है ना, all the listeners, this Leela is going on. Every little element of this Leela, जो उनके जो सारे offense है, his punishment is exactly fitting, just like lock and key. Exactly, he is doing that, and not punishing means that's considered that if you read the top two lines, exactly, topmost two lines, his punishment is exactly fitting that, but his punishment is actually going to be a mercy to them, that you will see through at the end of the chapter. But what I want you to pay attention while this pastime is going on, every little things that has a great significance of it. Sorry, Mataji, go ahead, please.
thank you, Prabhuji. So then the curse was of Narad Muni was, although it looked like a curse, but actually it was his mercy towards these two demigods. He wanted to reform them because they were intoxicated not just with liquor but also arrogance. So what were the offenses that they were they were committing? One, they were disrespecting a saint willfully on purpose, and they were also sporting in a holy place. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur here explains the meaning of the word Narada. Narad Muni has a very beautiful meaning. It means water. Water is also called Nara, which emanates from Nara, that is Lord Narayana. And Da. Da means the one who gives. So Narad Muni is the one who gives Nara, which is Lord Narayana, that is bhakti of Lord to us in the Dasya form or the Sakya form. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur here very beautifully explains us the meaning of the word Narada. So Narad Muni gives bhakti. So his curse was more of a mercy rather than a curse to Nalakuvera and Manigriva. Then what happens? Narad Muni was there, and these girls who were with Nalakuvera and Manigriva, they noticed, they saw the saint, they became very ashamed and they got scared that the Muni might curse them, so they immediately covered themselves. But Nalakuvera and Manigriva, they remained uh, like that only. They did not bother because of their arrogance. So they wanted, it's like Uddandata, like, so what? We don't care. So that is when here Sridhar Swami is asking the question that how did Narad Muni understand that these two were drunk? He just saw them sporting in the river. How did he know that they were drunk? Because they did not even bother in what state they are. When the Muni was there, they didn't even bother to cover themselves. So that is when Narad Muni understood that these two are drunk with liquor. And then he noticed that it was not just liquor, it was also arrogance of being rich. They didn't bother. They thought that, okay, it's fine. What will he do? They didn't bother. They did not have any respect for the saint. So here, it is mentioned the Acharyas, they mention this form of pride. Why this pride of being wealthy is the most dangerous compared to the other pride. So there are many types of prides, like one can be proud of being beautiful, being learned, coming from a royal family, But this pride of being wealthy, it surpasses all the other prides. Why? Because this particular pride automatically attracts or makes a person get into women. He can get into gambling. He starts drinking liquor. So these vices automatically follow this particular when you have a pride of being wealthy, because a person will start misusing his wealth. So what is the cause of these vices? Lust and anger. So person develops lust and anger, which is nothing but these are manifestation of Rajoguna. And this is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita 3.37, which results that into ruining one's intellect, which wherein plus added consequences could be a person commits sinful reactions. So this is the commentary of all the Acharyas, Sridhar Swami, Sanatan Goswami, Jiva Goswami, and Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. So in the end of this particular chapter, it will be revealed that Narad Muni's curse was actually a curse it was actually his mercy. It was disguised as a curse. And it was so apt for them, and it was a perfect remedy for these two sons of Kuvera, because what happens is in the end they get reformed, they get liberation from the Supreme Personality of Godheads, and they again become these Guhyakas and go back to heaven. So this was our eighth
Overview.
Yeah. So now we come to the ninth verse. Here the Acharyas have discussed what happens when when a person gets intoxicated by the pride of being wealthy. The consequences can be this pride produces sins, like a person becomes cruel, he has wickedness, and he becomes merciless. He can go about hunting others. Common example is animal killing for sense gratification, especially due to bodily conception of life. The person is more on the Deha Bhas. He is more, everything he does is for his body. He has no further ambition or objective in life. So these kind of people, they think that, death might not come, or they are not bothered of old age or the consequences that they would have to suffer later, because they are so stuck in the dehabhas, at the bodily consciousness. So then in the verse 10, it is mentioned that whatever the bodily form of a person is, he might be a king, he might belong to a high caste, or he might be a godly person, but finally what
Here
happens?
they were gods themselves. See, उनकी
Yeah.
बुद्धि भी मत हो गई है ना.
Yeah.
तो अब हम जैसे मामूली इंसान की क्या हालत हो सकती है, सोचिए.
Yeah, so true. So finally, what happens to the body? If it is cremated, it becomes ashes. When it is buried, it is eaten by worms. So these Pancha Mahabhutas, these elements, they return back to the unmanifest Pradhana or the Mahat Tattva. So hurting others for the sake of one's body leads to hellish destinations that he doesn't even know. He is not bothered.
तो किसी की फीलिंग्स को भी नहीं हर्ट करना चाहिए. बॉडीली हर्ट तो बाद में आती है, पर किसी की फीलिंग्स को भी हर्ट नहीं होना चाहिए.
Yeah. So in verse 10, it mentioned clearly that if one is intoxicated by pride, this produces sinful he commits sinful actions, which produces for which he has to suffer in the hellish planets. So then in verse 11, we see that whom does this body belong to? So this verse I would like to say here, Deha Kim Anna Datu Swam. Does this body belong to its employer or to the self? Nishektur matur evacha, or to the father or the mother, or matuhu pitur va balinaha, the mother's father, or one who takes it by force, or kretur agneha shuno apivaha, or the one who buys it as a slave, or the fire that burns it after the death, or the dogs who eat it when it is dead. So whom does this body belong to? Is a question that is asked in verse 11. So here Jiva Goswami says that it cannot be determined to whom the body belongs because there are many contradictory opinions. So now let us see in 12th it is mentioned that knowing that the body is common to all and its origin it is originated from the unmanifested, and then it gets dissolved into the unmanifested as one's self. So who but a fool? The body is produced by the nature and it is merged back in it, and this is everyone's common property. So who but a fool claims that this is my body and maintains it by committing sins such as animal killing? So only a fool will do that. He would maintain his body by doing sinful actions. Now we proceed to verse 13 and 15. Then what is the solution for this? If a person is getting into sinful activities, what will happen? What is the solution for it? Not just the solution, only solution, the only antidote for this is the Acharya says it is poverty. Poverty is the only antidote to the pride of being wealthy. Again, very beautiful verse. Poverty is the solution to the pride of wealth. Asataha Shri Madandasya, for atheistic fools who are proud of their wealth. Daridryam Parama Anjanam. Poverty is the best ointment for eyes to see things as they are. Why ointment to the eyes? The word that they have used in the Bhagavatam is oncular salve. Oncular related to eyes, salve is ointment. So when a person is blinded by intoxication, so he has to, when he applies the ointment, the intoxication goes away. So it is a antidote. A poverty is a solution to this particular problem. Atmanau Atmaupam yena bhutani, seeing others equal to oneself and empathizing with their pain, he wouldn't cause them pain. Daridryaha parama ekshate, a poverty-stricken man can see things as they are. So once he is going through, when he is poverty-stricken, he himself suffers. And because he himself suffers, he understands the pain that other people are going through. So what happens is empathy develops in him. That is the reason Bhagavatam says that poverty is the best antidote for this particular pride of being wealthy. So
एक
then,
मिनट,
yeah.
ये बात बहुत समझ लायक है, आप सब सुनिए कि ये इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि जो रिच है वो सडनली बन जाए पॉवर्टी स्ट्रिकन, मगर ये भगवान की देन है। जब हम लोग ऐसे बिहेव करते हैं वेरी एरोगेंटली बिकॉज ऑफ द नशे में चूर होते हैं। नशा कौन सा? अपनी दौलत का, अपने गुड लुक का, एजुकेशन का, ये सारे सब नशा है। जब ये इट गेट्स टू योर हेड, देन भगवान हमारी जो जो रिचनेस हमारे में है वो सब ले लेते हैं, एंड इसका परिणाम ये आता है, एंड देन ओनली यू विल रियलाइज द पेन ऑफ अदर्स। देखो, जब कांटा चुभता है हमारे पैर में, तो उसके दर्द जब तक हमें नहीं होता है, तो दूसरों का जो कांटा चुभता है उनका जो पेन हम कैसे समझ पाते हैं? जब हम उसी पेन में हम गुजरते हैं, तो उसका दर्द क्या है, हृदय की दर्द क्या है, फीलिंग की दर्द क्या है, वो हम समझ पाते हैं। तो भगवान ये कर देते हैं हमें। आप लोग को सबको समझना बहुत जरूरी है। किसी की फीलिंग्स को दुभाना, किसी के हाय लेना बहुत 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 बुरी बात है, उनका परिणाम हमें भुगतना पड़ता है। तो कभी अपने अपने जो भगवान ने अच्छी बात दी है, गुड लुक, हाई एजुकेशन, all the austerities, everything you have been given, blessed by the Lord, He can take away any time. जब उनको उनका दुरुपयोग करते हैं तो इसका मतलब ये समझना चाहिए कि उन्हें ऑटोमेटिकली गरीब नहीं बनना चाहिए कि दौलत देनी चाहिए, मगर ये समझना चाहिए कि भगवान उसकी सजा कहाँ तक देते हैं। सजा नहीं देते हैं, हमें सुधारने के लिए देते हैं। तो किसी की फीलिंग को दुभाना नहीं चाहिए, और हम जब तक उस दर्द से गुजरे नहीं तो किसी की फीलिंग के दर्द जो होता है उसे कैसे समझ पाएंगे। वो बात समझना बहुत ही जरूरी है। ये तीन वर्ष में बताया गया है। सॉरी माता जी, गो अहेड।
No, thank you, Pravesh. Thank you so much. So, humility is the virtue that one must develop in life, consciously develop, which you explained so beautifully, that is the verse 14, that unless one experiences the pain himself, he does not perceive the pain of others.
और ये भक्ति करने से गॉडली क्वालिटी पहले आते हैं। सबसे पहली ह्यूमिलिटी आती है कि जो हमें जो मिला है उसको हमें दिया गया है, दैट इज ऑल बीन गिवन टू अस। ये सब जो आर्टिकल, ये जब पावर पॉइंट देख रहे हैं, इट्स नॉट माय क्रिएशन, इस भगवान कृष्णा मेरे हाथों से करवाते हैं। मगर ये सब हमें सब सीखने की जरूरत है। ब्रह्मा जी जब क्रिएशन करते हैं तो उनको सबसे पहले यही डर था कि इतनी फैंटास्टिक जॉब इज गोइंग टू डू, इंजीनियरिंग जॉब। सो सबसे पहले भगवान से प्रार्थना करते हैं, पता है, चतुश्लोकी भागवत के पहले, कि भगवान से पूछते, भगवान ये जरूर देखते आपकी फर्ज है कि मुझे ये प्राइड ना आए मैं जो करने जा रहा हूं। तो ये ऐसी ह्यूमिलिटी कब आती है, जब हम भगवान की भक्ति करते हैं, तब आपो आप भगवान उसे देते हैं। सबसे पहले ह्यूमिलिटी आती है। ह्यूमिलिटी का मतलब क्या है कि उसको पता चलना चाहिए कि सब कुछ जो ये दी गई है, ये जो जो जितनी सारी कलाएं हैं, जितनी सारी कैपेबिलिटीज है, ये सब मेरी खुद की नहीं है। इट इज ऑल बीइंग गिवन टू मी। वी आर नॉट द डूअर्स, वी आर जस्ट इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स of the Lord. That kind of realization comes only when we enter into bhakti platform.
So then again here it is, they have also mentioned the benefits of poverty here. What happens? Now one more word that it is mentioned in Bhagavatam for poverty stricken is indigent. Indigent is person who is poor, needy and without any resources. So they say there are benefits in being indigent also. What are these benefits? A poverty stricken person is automatically free from pride, B, undergoes austerity. So austerity happens automatically because he has no money, he remains hungry, he is suffering. Some people, we take austerities willfully, but here austerity is happening automatically without him knowing that he is doing austerities. Then further, a poverty-stricken person is satisfied with what he has obtained by providence. Self-satisfaction comes to him, which is completely opposite when he was in pride. He was not satisfied. He was rather committing sins for his for sense gratification. Then a poverty-stricken person is his sense are controlled. Being hungry and being weak, he controls his senses. Then fifth point is he cannot perform harmful activities and he is open to associate with sadhus. Very important point. Because of his suffering, he is more open to associate with sadhus and thus he becomes purified from all the material desires. So when one does austerities, he gives up his pride and he becomes humble then, and when he is open to associate with sadhus, that time the reform happens. Continuing with verse 16, it says that one loses control of senses because of the pride of being rich. Then hatred and violence follow. Whereas when poverty happens, the opposite happens. That is, one controls the senses, thereby one no longer has hatred and so on. Okay, so one becomes sober with this particular remedy. So let us go on. Now we will talk about the sadhu, a saintly person. A saintly person may freely associate with those who are poverty stricken, but not with those who are rich. Now here sadhus are supposed to be samadarshana, equal to all. But here they say that say a pure sadhu would rather associate more with a needy person rather than a rich person. Why so? Isn't a rich person also, he should be equal to both? So that will follow later. Why? A poverty-stricken person, by association with saintly persons, very soon becomes uninterested in material desires, and the dirty things within the core of his heart are cleansed away. So what is the consequence of sadhu sang? Immediately the contamination of the heart goes away, the heart becomes clear, and a person becomes uninterested in material desires. And this happens very quickly in sadhu sangha, which benefits the person who is suffering consequences, who is suffering from his sinful reactions. Now, verse 18, the question, isn't it that a wealthy person should be dear to sadhu, like an indigent is dear to sadhu? Shouldn't a wealthy person be also dear to sadhu, because sadhu is samadarshi? So here the verse is, I would like to say this verse, sadhunam samachittanam. Saintly persons are equal to everyone. Mukunda charanai shrinam. They always aspire to serve Lord Mukunda's lotus feet, and they have no other interest. So this is the quality of a pure devotee of Lord. He is only attached to the lotus feet of the Lord, and he has no other personal agenda. उपेक्षयं किं धनस्तंभैर असत्भिर असत आश्रयः. Why neglect the association of such a sadhu and associate with proud and rich materialists? So one should be away from materialistic people and rather aspire association with pure devotees of the Lord. For this particular reason, because the sadhu is pure and he will inspire you to become pure. So Narad Muni here responds that the arrogant rich person who is having pride, who is having ahankara of being wealthy, he is compared to a pillar, a stamba, which is erect, strong, and difficult to uproot. So his pride is very strong. So given that there is a difference, a contradictory, a sadhu and a very rich person who is blinded by pride of being wealthy, they have very contradictory natures. So then it is difficult that there can be a chemistry between the two of them, because a wealthy person is like a pillar and a sadhu is humble, who is only aspiring Lord's lotus feet. So they
So
don't have
अभी आप
any.
समझ सकते हैं कि now you have to understand why the Narad Muni cursed them to become trees, and the trees also not ordinary trees, but वो देवदार वृक्ष है, वो सीधा ग्रो अपवर्ड होते जैसे स्तंभ की तरह, पिलर की तरह, उनकी कोई ब्रांचेस नहीं होती है, बिल्कुल उनके जो बिहेवियर है उसकी तरफ से उसे अर्जुना ट्री बनाने का श्राप दे दिया उन्होंने. So then they will understand, because they have to remain that way for 100 years of the demigods.
Yeah.
You will see later on, this will be further amplified, but this is the one of the first reason why Narad Muni turned them into the trees. And that is a dullness also. When you become a tree, it's like dullness, so you cannot move around. Look, just imagine in a tree form, when you cannot move around, how terribly painful must have been there, and yet to remain for so many years like that. This is to give them to experience the pain of others. This is why his punishment is exactly fitting right, so tightly fitting that to their crimes, to their उनको समझाने के लिए, उनको बताने के लिए ये सब किया गया है.
And they were given the punishment to become not poor, very poor. Like they become trees, they cannot do anything. They are stuck up at one place. So they've become very poor. So then they also say that therefore, since these twin brothers drunk liquor, which is Varuni or Madhvi, and they were unable to control their senses, have been blinded by pride of celestial opulence and have become attached to women, Narad Muni says, now I shall relieve them of their false pride. And in these 4 verses, which is verse 19, 20, 21, 22, Narad Muni decides what medicine he should give them so that they they come out of their pride of ahankara. So they say it's not just that they don't know that they are naked. Narad Muni is contemplating now. They know that they are naked. They know that they are disrespecting me due to their pride of opulence. With that in mind, he says, Sudur Madhu, that is, because they're arrogantly proud, uh, thinking that who cares that we are naked in front of this Brahmana, infantile Brahmana. Prabhuji, would you like to elaborate on this infantile Brahmana?
See, first of all, हमें ये समझना जरूरी है. We have to understand what is Sudurmada. Mother means the false pride. Okay, the pride of being arrogant, being rich and so on like that. So that's called Durmada. Durmada means false pride. And Sudurmada, extreme arrogance, that you even disregard a sadhu is passing by. You don't even occur to you that such a, so that is Sudurmada, extreme arrogance, So that is what it is. So that is what Narad Muni wanted to teach them, that lesson. And they are supposed to be demigods more than the humans. It's not just humans. You get the demigod position after so many pious karmas, and still they are behaving like that because they were really sons of a very rich Kuvera, who is the खजांची, who is the treasurer. So उनको बचपन से उसे इतना प्यार से पाला गया कि they become completely immune to such kind of respecting sadhus and so on like that. So this could happen to even the demigods. Just listen to what we could suffer like that also, So that is called Sudurmada. That is what being defined there, and very arrogantly proud. Continue, Mataji. I will interrupt only when there is something to be said. Okay?
Yes. Prabhuji, I also want you to elaborate on this infantile Brahmana. I could understand Brahmana, but what is infant? Because when I saw in the dictionary, it was like immature Brahmana. The meaning I was
infantile मतलब बच्चे कुछ समझ नहीं पाते ना. छोटे बच्चे होते हैं जो young children, उनकी बुद्धि तो limited होती है ना. They cannot understand, but they do it innocently. But when we adult act like such a small children, so that is called, because the infantile brain, infantile thinking, के बच्चों की तरह से हरकत करते हैं. Adulthood होना जरूरी है. उसके it goes that responsibility with you, that you are now experienced in life. You better understand that. So when you act like a little children, but little children act innocently, they don't have that kind of higher understanding. But you being adult, you already have supposed to have that. So that is what is infantile. The meaning of that.
So why I got confused, I tell you is,
and particularly Brahmana, Brahma Janati iti Brahmana, right? So Brahmanas are particularly like that. They have a much higher responsibility than the remaining 3 races, Kshatriya and Vaishya. Shudras are lowest kind, and even below the Shudra is called Chandala. Okay, so that kind of being a Brahmana. Remember, there's a Mahabharata. There's a story there when this Pandavas and Kauravas, when they were young princes, they were subjected to a particular test by Dronacharya and in the Bhari Sabha also. So they were given a particular crime and say, this is the crime that happens. How would you judge? So Duryodhana and others says that they, according to particular Brahmana, Kshatriya, they should be all particularly graded, distinct should be there, right? So when Yudhishthira Maharaj gave that reply, that depending upon a particular Brahmanas are supposed to be given a high intelligence because they are in the mode of goodness. The Kshatriyas are in the mode of passion. Okay, Vaishyas are in the mixed mode of goodness and passion, and Shudras are lowest men. Okay, So when they commit the same crime and different levels of punishment, so Duryodhana everything that they said, what is this? They are acting like stupid. Why the same crime giving different punishment? So then it was explained that when you have an education, when in the mode of sattva guna, and in spite of that, if you commit a crime knowingly that this is a crime, this is a sinful act, and still if you do it because out of tremendous urge for that sense enjoyment, then you deserve a much severe punishment than the same crime being committed by a Shudra or so on like that. So that is what it is like that.
Hare
So
Krishna
particularly
Prabhu.
Brahmanas carry the high responsibility.
Can I say
Yes,
something?
Mataji.
Add please. Yeah. So
Sorry,
many things can be added. Whole class can be given.
sorry. I just occurred to me. Maybe this could not be the fact, but anyway, I just want to add this. So he says here it says, "Who cares if we are naked in front of this infantile Brahmana?" So means they were so proud. They were thinking that this Brahmana, what does he know about enjoyment? He's like a renounced person, and he's never enjoyed like this before. So
It's
what?
their feeling of Narad Muni.
Yeah, they're
Which I
feeling.
explained.
So they're
That is
thinking,
also
who
true. That is
cares?
also true. That's also very true.
Yeah.
So they're thinking, who cares if we are naked in front of the? He doesn't anyway. He doesn't understand.
Yeah.
He's like a small child. He doesn't. Children don't understand if people
Yeah,
are wearing
it's got
clothes or
both ways, It goes both ways.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Hare Krishna
Right.
Prabhu, one question,
Yeah,
Prabhu.
Prasad Prabhu.
Yeah, if there is a mistake, same mistake done by one mistake, which is same, is done by Brahmana and Kshatriya. So we are trying to conclude that the punishment could be Brahmana could be much higher, Prabhu,
Yes,
but the
correct.
mistake is same,
Because they have a high intelligence, high
higher intelligence,
consciousness, and they've been
higher.
given them because Brahmanas are supposed to study Vedas and teach others, and
Hmm.
with they themselves act like that, so they carry much greater punishment.
Okay.
But
Similarly, the
like as
practicing devotee.
Mataji pointed out, in terms of Narad Muni, they have completely wrongly uh, downgraded even Narad Muni also.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
They were thinking of
Hi.
Narad Muni as infantile.
Yes, yes, Mother. Thank you, Mother. Understood.
Right. So, Prabhuji, may I go ahead?
Yeah, please go ahead.
So, Narad Muni, for all these reasons, Narad Muni thinks of a punishment like he would definitely curse them. But one more mercy that he does is let them have remembrance of what they have done in their previous life. Because unless they know what they have done, there is a possibility that they can commit the same sinful action again. So in order to prevent them not to engage in such sinful actions, Narad Muni also gave them the smriti that they should remember what they did. So
This another great thing Narad Muni did that. देखो हम जब जन्म लेते हैं, नया जन्म लेते हैं, तो हमारे पूर्वजन्म की बात हमें याद नहीं रहती है, right? We don't remember that. But here, Narad Muni specially gave them that remembrance also by his mercy. So they should remember what they did and why they are being punished now, so they will never commit that thing again. So that special Murti remembrance is being given to them, what exactly they did when they were devas and how they mistreated Narad Muni and so on like that, how arrogantly, become very drunk and so like that, enjoying in full public view the women and so on like that. So that remember was constantly there, and while they were remaining as trees for so many years, constantly they remembered, and how much pain must have been gone through in their heart. They realized all the thing, and that played a special role in their rehabilitation. Their refinement of all this thing, and they were thanking Narad Muni that did the right. He did the right thing, and plus Narad Muni also said, and why? See, Narad, the rather mercy point is that while the suffering going on, but he placed them too in the courtyard of Narad Muni in Brajabhumi. Okay, and all the devotees come there, right? And they constantly take their shelter underneath the these trees, and then eventually Krishna himself will come. That is the greatest fortune that Narad also blessed them with that. So he punished them, but at the same time, this great mercy also was given to them, that they will be born in the courtyard of Nanda Baba, where all the devotees, Brajabhumi, all these, they are great devotees who take, even a monkey is born in Braja, they are no ordinary souls. They are no ordinary souls. So all these devotees will come, will take shelter underneath these trees. See, it looks like punishment, but it's a great mercy. That is what our Acharyas are explaining to us.
Yeah. As you have mentioned here in
And I've taken a lot of things for Harivansh Purana also. These references are quoted actually there by our Acharyas. Then I went actually read those articles in Harivansh Purana also. There it is explained much more greater details of these things.
Yeah.
Can I add something, Prabhuji?
Yeah, please, Prabhuji.
They stayed there for 100 celestial years. That
Yes,
means one celestial
godly
year
years.
is
Remember, उनका जो एक दिन है, there is our 6 months. So you can calculate how many years they have to remain that way.
that means they remained there for 36,000 years.
Yeah.
That means, as we know, Nanda had shifted from Mahavana to Vrindavana, but much before that, these trees were there, 36,000 years. And that means everything was destined to be like that. Nanda Maharaj was, he shifted to that place where the trees were already there. That means in the Lord's plan, everything is predestined also.
Yeah.
Right, good point.
So
See
wonderful.
that Gokula is a Brihad Mahavana, great Mahavana. When they move to Vrindavan, that's a different place, Actually, in the subsequent chapter, we are going to hear when they start making move and why they move to Vrindavan. That reason also explained there.
So
Okay,
rather
continue,
they were
Mataji.
blessed, Prabhuji, because they were so long
Exactly.
they were in
That the
Vrindavan.
suffering was given to them, but it's actually a great blessing.
Yeah.
The great blessing was that they were given that birth as trees, and why there's trees, and there was a particular kind of trees. They're twin trees. So they were twins, right?
Yeah.
And this stamba-like trees, stamba because they behaved like a pillar, that we saw that in earlier verses, So that is, and then they have to go through that, as Prabhuji translated, 100 demigod years equivalent to 36,000 human years. So constantly, and they were given remembrance. See, that is really awful, isn't it? When you don't know previous life and you're suffering, and you remember then, and then further suffering, that's a great refinement. That motivated them to realize what they've done, and then they realize His mercy.
So Narad Muni,
All the devotees came there daily and took shelter from there.
So wonderful contemplation by Narad Muni. In very detail, it is explained in 19, 20, 21 and 22. He
Actually,
thought...
इंडिया में पता नहीं है देवदार वृक्ष कितने होते हैं, मगर हमारे वेस्ट में, अमेरिका में जो होते हैं, इतने लंबे होते हैं, बहुत लंबे होते हैं, सीधा सीधा ऊपर. Sometimes like 50 feet, 100 feet, like that tall. I think वृंदावन में इतने tall नहीं हो गए, मगर फिर भी that is a pillar-like appearance they have. That no branches going like that, and they in winter time or like that, they don't shed their leaves. It always remains there like that. Yes, Mataji, continue.
Yeah, so then Narad Muni, he cursed them, he spoke like that, and then he returned to his ashrama. His ashrama is also known as Narayana Ashrama. And Nalkuvera and Manigriva, they became Yamala twin Arjuna trees. Yamala is twin, so they became two Arjuna trees, thinking that when Lord Krishna will come, Lord Krishna's friend is Arjuna. So because of their name, now they are Arjuna trees, and Lord Krishna's friend is also Arjuna. So definitely Lord will be merciful to both of them.
Anyway, Arjuna here is not that Pandava Arjuna, okay? There is a Gopa named Arjuna also is there.
Cowherd
So
Arjuna.
that Gopa Arjuna is indicated here.
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji, for that.
Yeah.
And that's why this, because of their name, my Lord might certainly show mercy to them. And this was all thought and planned by Narad Muni. So this was Narad Muni's special mercy according to Sanatan Goswami and Jiva Goswami. Probably, shall we take a break for?
It's up to you. How the rest of you? Do you feel
Yes.
we need a break? 3 minutes break. I think it's a good idea. Just let them relax a little bit. 3 minutes is not much time.
Yeah, just 2 minutes, Prabhuji. Because
Yeah, 2 minutes. Okay.
Ultimately, these two sons of Kubera, what did they get? They actually witnessed all the leelas of the Lord when Nanda Maharaj was in Vrindavan. That is the one thing. And secondly, at the end, we'll learn that they earned Prema Bhakti, which is the highest bhakti, the highest stage. A devotee wants, wishes, or he does sadhana to get that. And they got all these things. That means if somebody thinks they were punished, that is not, that will not be correct. They were actually favored by Narada Muni. And since it will come up later, and since the Lord is Bhakta Vatsala, he made the words of Narada Muni true with that benediction. So, in all the ways, these two sons of Kubera, they were benefited only, and they were favored not only by Narada Muni, but by the Supreme Lord, that is by Krishna also. This we should understand. It was not a punishment at all.
Yeah, Char Prabhuji, just one,
It's
since you
very
mentioned
much.
twice. Yeah, yeah, Prabhuji just mentioned twice that the trees this grow up. What is the significance of that? Sideways branches are not there. How it fits
Because
into
it's
this
like
description?
it's like a pillar, like a pillar, like appearance, And in the previous slide that Mataji showed, remember why Stamba like the action was there? So that is why that particular tree form was given to them.
So, okay, so no branches, that means no lateral or no other distractions.
No branches. Grow straight upward. It's like a straight pillar,
Yeah, so
because
taking.
their activities was like that,
Okay, okay, Prabhuji, thank you. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, it is also like a bamboo tree.
No, not bamboo. Bamboo trees have no leaves. Leaves are there, but not like that kind of Devadar Vriksha they have,
Okay, Prabhuji.
See, Devadar, नाम क्या है? देवदार क्या मतलब godly, right? इसका नाम भी इसी ओर से पड़ा होगा शायद. Prabhuji, Sharad Prabhuji, you want to add something more to that?
Yes, I have also seen these Arjuna trees. They are very tall trees, but very small, insignificant branches. Branches are there,
Yeah.
but very, very
Very small.
insignificant.
It's like that's like a pillar, like going
Yes,
straight up there.
it is just like a pillar.
And usually they're in the colder places. It's unusual to see those kind of trees in Vrindavan.
Prabhuji, I think મેં મનાલીમાં જોયા છે આ વાત.
Yeah,
color,
usually
na,
the cold
Prabhuji,
places,
Arjuna
mountainous
too.
period. In America,
हाँ,
we have many here. In America, we have many.
પ્રભુજી મનાલીમાં એક હિડિમ્બા ટેમ્પલ છે જે
હા.
હનુમાનજી આપણે ભીમની વાઇફ હિડિમ્બા
Yes.
એનું એક ટેમ્પલ છે હિડિમ્બા ટેમ્પલ. ત્યાં આગળ મને લાગે છે મેં ત્યાં જોયા છે આ ટ્રી. એટલા લાંબા લાંબા.
Manali at least a mountainous region, cold place, right?
Yes, yes. Simla, Kullu, Manali.
Yeah, in winter
Yes,
they
Prabhuji.
don't shed leaves. whereas other trees shed leaves, Okay, Mataji, continue because we are running short of time.
Yes, Prabhuji. So now here we see that Lord Krishna, he drags that mortar with great force, which is tied to his belly. And we'll see here that how he uproots these two Arjuna trees and liberates Nalkuvera and Manigriva.
And
So
here,
how
this Mataji is going to explain in this slide two more significant things I want you to notice. Look at that wooden mortar. Ulukhala, Sanskrit word is for that.
Hala.
It's usually in the vertical way. It's like have you ever seen the time cup is there? Hourglass. So this is in that shape, but here that is used for a different purpose in Vrindavan. But automatically it's remained, now it turned into a horizontal way. So that it can perfectly fit right there. And that as a leverage that when Krishna pulls. Same with the rope becoming strong. So these 2 points, very significant points that are being explained in this slide also. Notice that. So as if they are inanimate objects, right? Ulukhala, this mortar, and the rope, but they behave as if they are conscious. They exactly responded what Lord wanted them to be like that.
So
Okay,
it went hand in gloves with the, like it performed as per the Lord wish.
Yeah.
So Hari went Sanakeya. Sanakeya is slowly. He went slowly towards this tree. Why he went slowly? Because if he would have gone faster, the ukhal would have made a lot of sound, which would have attracted Yashodamaya and other peoples to come over there. So that's why he went. The one reason was that was one of the reason he went slowly. And then other reason which is given over here, he went slowly because of the Balya Leela. He was crawling. So baby crawls slowly. So then he goes between these two trees and he pulled it by force. It's mentioned in verse 24. So Narad Muni was Krishna's affectionate devotee, and therefore he wanted, Krishna says, Narad Muni wants me to come face to face with these two. So I must do so for their deliverance. So here it is mentioned that Lord wanted the words of his topmost devotee. The word that is mentioned here for Narad Muni is Bhagavata Mukhya. Narad Muni is the Mukhya devotee. He wanted his words to come true. So Lord thinks that although I have nothing to do with these two sons of Kuvera, I must fulfill the words of my dearest devotee Narada. So Sadhu Sang is so very important. Even the curse becomes a mercy. Then, as Prabhuji explained now, the mortar, the ukhala, it became triyangam gatam. Triyangatam. That means it became horizontal. So earlier he was tied to a vertical mortar, which when the action of uprooting happens, turned down. It became horizontal as if it was conscious with the conformity of Lord's intention, as if it came to know what Lords want to do. So from vertical, it became horizontal just to get stuck in between the two trees. Moreover, that rope also, which Yashodamaya had tied to Krishna, that became extremely strong. And why it became strong? Because of the power of Lord Krishna, because of power of the child Krishna. Here
So
the
Lord being सत्य कामा, उनको सिर्फ संकल्प करना है कि मुझे ये चाहिए, ये करना है. Immediately that takes place, and that get transmitted to even the inanimate objects. They become as if they are living objects, and they conform to the Lord's desire. And of course, Yoga Maya facilitates all these things.
So Sharad Prabhuji also has said many times in classes that in Vrindavan everything is conscious.
Exactly.
Nothing can
You're
be.
absolutely right. Just like देखो ये गोलोक में ये सब वहां भी ट्रीज है, वहां भी गैया है, वहां भी छोटे छोटे एनिमल्स है. They are in that form, but their own liberated form to give pleasure to Krishna.
So then Lord Hari, he entered between the two trees. Then by dragging behind him, Tarasha, with great force, the wooden mortar tied to his belly, Dama Udarena, Dama is belly, Udarena is belly, Dama Udarena, the rope and the belly by Krishna, he was tied, who was tied to the belly, Utka,
Ulukala. Ulukala.
Utkalita, uprooted
Yeah,
the
now that is a different word. That's not Ulukala.
Utkalita.
Yeah.
Lord Krishna uprooted the two trees. As Prabhuji mentioned again and again, they were like a pillar, very strong. And when they fell also like a pillar.
Now here picture is not doing a justice, okay? This
Yeah.
picture is showing like ordinary trees. They are not ordinary trees. You see these branches and all these things are, that's not Devadar Vriksha. So this picture is wrong, okay?
So we have to like think of two straight pillar-like trees falling down, not these.
The way it is shown, it's incorrect.
So by Krishna's great strength, the two trees with their trunks, leaves and branches, they trembled severely and they fell on the ground with great crash. So this is mentioned in Harivansha Purana. Thereafter, in that very place where the Arjuna trees fell down, two great looking personalities appeared. They were like fire personified and they came out of these two trees. Their effulgence and their beauty was illuminating all the directions, and they bowed their heads and offered obeisances to Lord Krishna. With folded hands, they offered this hymn to Lord Krishna.
Now it is not said here, but later on we'll learn that Krishna's Balya friends, his Gopa friends, they witness all this thing completely. And then they tell, just like Shakata, that card fell down, heavy card on Krishna, that was actually observed by the boys. And they tell the elders that they have seen themselves, that these two, but the elders did not believe because of, again, a prema, you know.
So now in this slide, we see verses 29 to 38. The hymns of these Guyakas, which is Nalkuvera and Manigriva, they offered it to Lord Krishna. Because we've already done this, I'll just read it as it is. Lord Krishna is asking them, why do you two gods, why are you bowing to me? I am just a cowherd. I'm just a Gopa. So they tell him, you are not a cowherd, but you are the topmost Purusha. You are not just the instrumental cause, but the ingredient cause too. A mercy like this is certainly proper. So although both of us are great offenders, still we are continuously favored by you, and that is certainly appropriate on your part. Your Aishwarya is inconceivable because the Purusha is just the one who glances at Prakriti, but that Purusha too is merely your Amsha and you are the Amshi. So Ishvara too, you are Ishvara, you are controller, you alone are everything. You are the Lord of the body, of the life airs, of the ego and the senses. Time is the instrumental cause of it. Prakriti is the ingredient cause, the doer and the controller, and transforms as Vishwatma. So Lord is saying, if I am everything, then given that one can see things, why am I not known? So they say, well, you are Brahman. Who deserves to meet you face to face? Or who deserves to get direct realization of you? No one knows you because your pastimes are extremely difficult to fathom on account of a manifestation of worldliness and other worldliness. So because you invoke complete bewilderment by showing bondage, no one can know you. So given that it is hard to fathom, we bow down to you, and by own they bow down to him whose glory is covered. So Nalakuver and Manigriva, they bow down to Lord whose glory is covered by gunas. You are Bhagwan with 6 godly qualities and Vidhata, the maker, who can be binding with material ropes occur on the belly, that is contains Satchit Ananda. The reason is Atmadyota. The ropes are self-effulgent. If then Lord is saying, if I am God, so how can you possibly know me? They say you have descended for upliftment and for liberation or freedom from material existence. Your avatars, although they are counted among embodied beings, are not material bodies. O supremely auspicious, we offer our respectful obeisances unto you, you are the supreme good. O most famous descendant and controller of the Yadu dynasty, O son of Vasudeva, O most peaceful, let us offer our obeisances unto your lotus feet. O supreme form, we are always servants of your servants, especially of Narad Muni. Now give us permission to leave for our home. It is by the grace and mercy of Narad Muni that we have been able to see you face to face. So again and again they are mentioning the mercy of Narad Muni while praying to Lord Krishna. Now here we see that they pray to Lord that henceforward may all our words describe your pastimes only. May our ears engage in oral reception of your glories. May our hands, legs, and other senses engage in actions pleasing to you, and may our minds always think of your lotus feet. May our heads offer our obeisances to everything within the world, because all things are also your different forms. And may our eyes see the forms of Vaishnavas who are non-different from you. So much of enlightenment they have got, that they are saying that may our heads always offer obeisance to everything within the world, because all things are your different forms. Then going forward, they say Lord tells them, both of you have turned out as devotees of mine by Narad Muni's mercy, by Lord's devotees' mercy. Now you can go back. So they say that if so, please give us all your bhakti. That is Vani, words, which is a power of speech. Guna Anukanthane, always engaged in talking about your pastimes. Shravanau, the ear or oral reception. Kathayam, in talks about you and your pastimes. Smrityam, in remembrance, always engaged in meditation. Drishtyaha, the power of sight. Satam of the Vaishnavas. Darshane, in seeing. Astu, let all of them be engaged in this way. Bhavat Tanunam, who is non-different from you. So they ask for complete benediction, not everything is complete benediction. Nothing is going out. So now, after they offer such a beautiful hymn to Lord Krishna, Lord responds to them. Their uttermost good fortune by the power of Narad Muni's favor is indicated here. Lord Krishna then smiles, which occurs naturally because he is the Gokuleshwara. Gokuleshwara is the master of Gokula, bound by a rope to the wooden mortar. He smiled and he spoke to the sons of Kuvera. So here Krishna thought that Kuvera's sons are praising me for freeing them from bondage. But Mother Yashoda binds me up and scolds me instead of praising me. So still out of love, I stay in Gokula. To me, the scolding of Rajavasis is greater than the praises of Kuvera's son. So Krishna, he smiles and he tells them, Narad Muni is very merciful. By his curse, he showed the two of you greatest favor, who were mad after material opulence and who had thus become blinded. So although you fell from a higher planet, that is Svargaloka, and became trees, you were most favored by Narad Muni. So I knew of all these incidents from the beginning. When one is face to face with the sun, there is no longer darkness for one's eyes. Similarly, when one is face to face with a sadhu, a devotee, who is fully determined and surrendered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one will no longer be subject to material bondage. So now these two also will no longer be subject to material bondage. It is fitting that his favor had the form of the decline of your wealth, poverty stricken. Sadhunam, of devotees, samachittam, who are equally disposed towards everyone, of those whose minds are offered to me. So by the implication that Narad Muni was very satisfied by the way his mercy turned out to be a blessing. And it is implied that Krishna too was very satisfied. The Lord did not directly say it because he was an ocean of topmost virtues, including modesty. So Lord himself is portraying humility. Then the two, Nalakuvera and Manigriva, they circumambulated the Lord, who was bound to the Ukhala, and they offered obeisances to him. And after that, taking his permission, they returned to their respective homes. That is, they again became Guhyakas in the Swargaloka. So, this was...
Excellent, Mataji. Excellent. You done wonderful.
Prabhuji, thank you for helping me. Your points were very, very important.
Yeah, you covered so beautifully. I'm really impressed. You are a very quick learner.
No, Prabhuji.
You please me like anything, you know.
I wouldn't have done it. Your slides are, I don't know how you do it every time when you give me this opportunity to do a presentation. I realize that I don't know how you comprise everything
No,
into
it's
one
not
slide.
me. Sarath Prabhuji is also helping you.
Yes, Prabhuji, but Sharad Prabhuji is also, he also and you also, it's very difficult to put it into one slide. What I'm saying is that one slide is giving you like a full 100 pages into it.
So that is what I'm trying to teach you, all of you. In the book itself, you see that when you read the books by yourself, it's difficult to follow.
Very
200 pages approximately on an average for each chapter. That to condense into slides. So you just take an essence of all these things. That is what I would like you to learn, all of you. You know how to condense it. So all the adjectives, this, that, you filter it out. But some of the adjectives are required for you to understand. So that kind of judgment you have to develop, that will come by experience. But if you what you done by your own efforts, and now you compare with what I have done, you'll learn, observe and learn. You know, that's how you're going to do it. And then I expect you to even surpass me also. Okay, because कहते हैं कि जो शिष्य होते हैं वो सवाय આપણે રક્ષા માટે આપણે ગુજરાતીમાં કહેવાય છે ને, હિન્દીમાં શું કહેવાય ખબર નહીં મને, કે શિષ્ય ગુરુ કરતા સવાયા બને છે, right? 125%. So
Yes, Prabhuji.
it will always happens like that. It will always happen. And that's why when you turn it to next generation, you will do like this. So it keeps on growing that. You don't maintain just what you learn from that, but you still further improve it. All this thing will come with patience, mercy, hard work is required, and the Lord's devotee's mercy. Ultimately, it is devotee's mercy we make progress. Devotees sadhu sangha is our lifeline, as I keep telling you all the time. When we remember that we did this course, Narada Sutra,
Yeah.
Narada is teaching us.
Yeah. Prabhuji,
Okay,
whatever
now
you say.
excellently done, Bataji. Excellently done.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Whatever you say, Prabhuji, it's right. We will try our best as you are inspiring us.
Come by efforts.
But ultimately, I think everybody will agree that I don't think anybody can make slides as you.
No, Mataji,
I really
I've been
know,
doing for
Prabhuji.
last
Hats
so
off
many
to you.
years.
I don't
15
think
years of research career, that has taught me a lot, because I had to read to my. अभी मुझे पता चलता है. Now I realize that Lord made me scientist, which apparently it's a material cause, right? But ultimately his purpose was to bring me on this platform. So all the skills he taught me, it is being utilized now, actually, you know. So whatever position you might have, ultimately the Lord serves that purpose to teach you something that you'll use it for His purpose.
Correct.
So that's what I'm trying to do now,
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji. Now it's open for
So,
discussion. Yeah.
yes, wonderful. So I'm hoping that a good discussion will take place. I think rest of you, my real humble prayers to all of you, please participate. Only 3 or 4 people are participating. Rest of you are still not doing that. So I'm really encouraging all of you. Please participate. Yes, you are listening. Listening also great thing, but please open up. You are within the family. We are not strangers. We are a small family. Okay. Sharpu, you want to add something to it? Haribol, Sharpu.
And then this, you have to listen very carefully, but the most important is that you should have gone through the slides minimum twice before the class so that the understanding becomes more clear. Okay, just to start the discussion, I'll add certain things in this class, though many of the things have been added. We spoke about wealth, we spoke about envy or pride because of that. There is another thing given in the seventh canto. It says, money is so dear that one conceives of money as being sweeter than honey, and therefore, who can give up the desire to accumulate money, especially in household life? In that verse, it says, thieves, professional servants, and merchants try to acquire money, even risking their own lives. That means money or wealth is very, very dear to the grihasthas or those who are in the household life in many of the professions. Now, then we learned the 4 verses 15 to 18, what the Mataji was explaining. They speak about the poverty. Now, poverty is also liberation. That's what Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, that when there is poverty, this means to attain liberation comes out automatically. Now, why? Now, Balvacharya says that the absence of ego is the cause of liberation. And Sanatana Goswami says that a poverty-stricken man's victory over the senses take place automatically. And even though it cannot be accomplished by performing austerities. Now, what is the learning? Should we become the poor or afflicted with poverty from whatever position we are? No, that is not required. What is required is one should not give so much importance to the wealth one has. And wealth, if it is used in the correct way as given in the Shastras, then it will never make one proud. Now, why Manigriva and Nalakubara, they are proud? Sridhar Swami says that pride is the cause of ignorance. And Veera Raghava, he says that their problem was not with wealth, but their pride of being wealthy. They were arrogantly proud. Now, then at the end, we learned Narada went to Narayanasrama. It is given in the Harivansa Purana. It is where this Narayanasrama, it is in the Vaikuntha Loka. Why? Manigriva and Nalakubara were followers of Rudra, and by cursing them, Narada thought that it was a great mistake. So he went to Narayana to ask for forgiveness, or his motive was to request the perfection of what he uttered, or that he went to Badrikasrama to request it to his own guru. Now these are the various explanations by the
And
Acharyas
even
given.
why Badrikashrama? Because Nar Narayana Rishi is there, right?
Yes, yes. and the two Arjuna trees fell unlike Putana did, not making any the damage to anything else. Now, please remember that the word Damodara, which is used in this chapter, this is used for the first time in the 10th canto. Then I'll tell you in very brief, since time is also there, what is given in the Harivansa Purana, though the gist has been given. Now, as soon as Krishna, he pulled the two trees with all their branches and leaves, it fell with a great sound, and just to display him immense power to the residents of Braja, Krishna did that, and Krishna stood in between the two twin trees, and he was seen laughing. The rope had become stronger because of the influence of Krishna, this we learned. And when the gopis who were on their way to Yamuna and saw Krishna in such a situation, they immediately rushed to Mother Yasoda because they were totally surprised, and their faces were pale and dry, and they told Yasoda, don't waste any time. The two giant Arjuna trees that fulfilled our desires whenever we prayed to them fell upon your two sons. Now, then they also told him, you consider yourself wise, just get up and come with us. Quickly take your son who has just returned from the jaws of death. Everybody thought Krishna has been saved by Lord Narayana. And then what Mother Yasoda did, Yasoda hurriedly got up with great fear and rushed there where Krishna was there, and the trees had been felled, and Mother Yasoda saw her son standing between the two trees, and all the elderly cowed men and women of Braja, they began to discuss this incident, and people from four directions, they came running to see what had happened. And the coward men who were fond of living in the forest, they were staying in the forest only. They arrived and they said that these twin trees were like two temples for the residents of Braja, because they had been existing for such a long time. And who uprooted them? They asked each other. There was neither any storm, nor heavy rain, nor there was any lightning in Gokula. No elephant had come here and pushed the trees. How did these twin trees they fell down? The twin trees were completely uprooted, making them fall to the ground. And then to Nanda Maharaj also they said, if these twin trees were planted here in Gokula, and if they really were beneficial to all the residents, inhabitants of Braja, then know for certain that even today they are happy with you because they spared the life of your son. And they said that this is the third calamity that had occurred in Gokula. Putana was first killed, the cart collapsed, and now these trees have been uprooted. Therefore, we think that we should not live here any longer. And this place is not safe for anyone. We have witnessed too many untoward incidents here in Braja recently. And then what happened? Nanda Maharaj hurriedly freed Krishna from the ropes that were
They will
tied
come
to
in
the
the
wooden
next
motor.
chapter, tomorrow's class, right?
These things will also come in the next class. Then Nanda also chastised Yasoda severely when he returned home, and thereafter all the Brajavasis they returned to their respective homes. So this is in very brief what is also given in the Harivamsa Purana also. Now we can
let's open up for discussion.
yes, questions or comments by the devotees.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam. So nice. Last week I missed because I was traveling. So, I missed that really wonderful pastime. So, Prabhuji, here at the end, it's the last slide, right? It says that they went to the Swargaloka, the Nalkuvera and Maniguru.
Yeah.
But we understand they went to the spiritual world, right?
No, they returned back to their post.
They went to the post, and from there they were elevated back to the to Golok Vrindavan, or that's what we
they
understand.
remain.
No?
Remember, all these devas also being given administrative duties to
Mm.
run this universe, right? So they are actually serving, not necessarily in Goloka, but even Swargaloka, they are serving the Lord to help run the universe, administratively run the universe. So they were restored to their heavenly duties,
Prabhuji, maybe I'm hearing from other discussions also, because they eventually were promoted to the Golok Vrindavan, where they, recite Lord's pastime, because they observe everything, such a sweet pastime. Maybe this is what I heard.
But here we learn that they were restored in their heavenly
Position,
duties.
yes. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thanks.
Any questions, comments?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam.
In
So
Mataji's
wonderful class, Prabhuji.
Mataji's
So,
performance.
yes, Mataji's performance so wonderful. And
this was, remember,
in
not an
between
easy
आपने
lesson,
भी जो
not
बताया
an
वो
easy
भी बहुत
lesson
ही
to
अच्छी बात
prepare. Not an easy lesson
Yes.
to prepare. Mataji prepared very well.
Yes, Prabhuji, very well, very well. प्रभु जी बहुत ही इसमें से हमें सीखना है, बहुत ही सारी चीजों को टेक अवे करना है, हमारी लाइफ में जीवन में उतारना है। सबसे पहले कि हमें प्राइड नहीं होना चाहिए, हम कुछ भी करें वो सब भगवान के द्वारा होता है, वो समझना है कि भगवान ही हमसे करवा रहे हैं। और दूसरा वो हमें दूसरों की पीड़ा को भी समझना चाहिए। तो जब हम भगवान से शरण में रहते हैं और भगवान की भक्ति करते हैं तो ही हम हम्बल बन सकते हैं इतने, और हम दूसरों को भी थोड़ा समझ सकते हैं कि दूसरों की पीड़ा कैसी होती है। तो ये भी हमें एक सीखना है पॉइंट, बहुत ही अच्छे से हो सके उतना भगवान का शरण वो ग्रहण करते रहना है, ज्यादा से ज्यादा से ज्यादा से, और वैष्णवों का संग, और अच्छे से स्टडी भी करना है, बहुत ही अच्छे से स्क्रिप्चर को जो आप समझाते हो प्रभु जी, और बहुत ही अच्छे से पॉइंट हमारे आचार्य ने हमें जो सिखाया बताया है वो उनको हमें बहुत ही अच्छे से समझ के उन पे चलने की कोशिश करनी चाहिए प्रभु जी। वो मैं सीखी हूँ आज
So
के लेसन से।
my teammates, please learn how you can condense important points when you prepare the slides. So compare with what you did, because now I expect you to turn in time your own way of doing things, and then I'll show you mine. Okay. So abhi dekho, Archana Mataji's lessons are there. There are series and series of lessons. Okay. So many, one by one. And I've been very busy. Okay. My essays I have to write. And next semester I'm taking 4 courses instead of 3. Already with 3 courses, I'm running so much behind. So 4 courses. So I'm going to be extremely busy. You got to learn. Now you got to learn very little time. Within very fast, you have to learn. And Sharad Prabhuji is going to coordinate with all of you. Really, you need to keep pace with me. Very fast, this thing is going to come like that. Okay. So I'm hoping soon you'll learn to provide help to me. How you condense. So I don't need to read the whole this book myself. Sarath Prabhuji, please.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Coordinate this thing. So I need you to now help me cut down my time. Okay?
Yes,
so
Prabhuji.
you really need to work very hard. And really, there is only, I'm telling you my technique, only 3 readings are required. First reading, in one sitting, you complete reading, whatever verses that you have given. And not the whole chapter is given to all of you. Each of you are divided the whole chapter in few verses. So it's much easier job. Condense it, extract the important points that you learn from this lesson onwards, how I have done that. And give me like bullet forms with diacritics. So I can just copy paste when I do it, when I prepare PowerPoints. And when I prepare PowerPoints, I would like Prasad Prabhu with me. Together we will do that. Prasad Prabhu, are you there?
Yes, yes,
Yes,
yes.
Prabhu, I'm there, Prabhu. I'm there.
Yes. So I would like you to work closely with me. One day, particular day a week, you and I will sit together on the
Okay.
Zoom meeting and we'll make
Okay.
PowerPoints, okay?
Yes, Prabhu.
And you notice, you also to observe by the way I make PowerPoints, okay? There's so many different ways you do it. Ultimately, of course, your own preference is there, but how to condense and how to bring out, that you notice very carefully how I bring out the points in the way I show my PowerPoints, okay? So now onwards, you are not passively working, but actively working to assist my job. So soon I like it to become independent. My time is running out. My days are numbered. I'm very seriously telling you, my days are numbered. Hare Krishna. And now let's have an active discussion.
Just a small point for the team. Now the next lessons are 12, 13, chapters 12, 13 and 14. That I'll send you the photocopies of all the three chapters. And we are all the members, those who are involved, that is myself, Samta Mataji, Archana Mataji, and Sanjeev Prabhuji. I'll distribute the verses also, and please do them. And we have learned from the last one that there is enough scope for condensing the commentary of the Acharyas. Other the basic stories are known to everybody. You are able to do, but in the Acharya's commentaries, they are very lengthy. We have to extract the gist of it only.
And remember, the Prabhuji is doing a very Herculean task. Each chapter is about 200 pages. How many pages he must be photocopying? 600 pages, 3 chapters. Can you imagine? So really, at least for my teammates, try your best to make efforts to buy those books. They'll be treasure for you. Because every week, this Prabhuji has to photocopy so many pages. 600 pages you will have to photocopy now to share with all of you. Just imagine how much time he must have been spending.
No, Prabhuji will buy the books.
I really
Yeah.
recommend, if some of you can afford to, or at least 1 or 2 people of 5,
Yes.
6 buy and distribute copying.
Distribute the scanning part. Yeah.
Yes, scanning part, so that Prabhuji's time is spent a little bit better on other aspects of it. And
Yes,
you need to
we'll do
observe
that.
and learn fast.
Yes, because it's chapter 12, 13 and 14, there is 664 pages.
Now see that, what I was telling you? How much time you must have been spending. So be considerate of that. So at least not 6 of you I'm expecting, but it's at least 2 or 3 of you. If you can do that, you might be able to share that burden,
Yes, Prabhuji will do that. Couple of us will just buy the books and do the scanning.
Very good. Thank you. Okay, now we still have about 10 minutes. So many serious points we discussed. No questions whatsoever.
Yeah, Prabhuji. So anyway, because nobody's asking questions. So Prabhuji, here that poverty,
Prabhuji,
it's
we have one more point I forgot. If you recall, Sharad Prabhuji made a request to the rest of the group who are not my teammates yet. We are looking for at least one more teammate, 1 or 2. If you could volunteer your services, that'd be great. Prabhuji, have you received any Any
No,
volunteers?
no, I have not received any reply from
That
anybody.
is really very, very pathetic, very tragic.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, Hari Bol.
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, Prabhuji, my NAC dates, they are, we still are not clear about the NAC peer team visit dates. So
Okay.
once it will be over, I can contribute, no issue.
Wonderful. But we
Yeah.
need somebody else also. Mataji, I know you have not been feeling well also. You know, and it is there on my mind. You're not feeling well either. That's another point also. Otherwise, Mataji used to do all these things. She used to be part of my team. So I'm giving her little bit breathing space until she recovers. Okay. But rest of you, so many people are there that are there. We are looking for one or two persons. Okay. Please come forward. It will be to your own help. When you do actively doing this thing yourself and participating us, assisting us, you will be doing a great service. There is a part of your bhakti, your own bhakti. And Lord will reward you. Remember that incident we are going to come across. That lady who was selling fruits, she gave only few fruits to baby Krishna. And to what a fold Krishna rewarded that lady. So Krishna is so amazing. Even little things we do for him, he will expand so much in return. We are not doing things in exchange for any kind of return, but in exchange of return that he might give us bhakti towards him and his devotees. That is what we expect. Okay. Okay, I think looks like there are no more questions.
One thing for the others, like in next, we'll hear that story what Charu Prabhuji was saying, that lady who had gone to sell fruits. I'll request the devotees to find out who was that lady in some other Leela of the Lord. In Ram Leela, that is in Ramayana, who was she?
Prabhuji, may I guess now?
Yeah.
Was she? It's just a blind guess. Was she Shabri?
No.
No.
Okay.
You
We'll find out.
learn.
Sabri,
Okay.
Sabri, you must hear her story also in her previous life. What was she and how she became Sabri like this? These are all very, very interesting stories. Actually, this Ramayana also, outwardly, for the common man, the Ramayana is different. And for others, if you go deeply, like we are deeply into Bhagavatam, if you study Ramayana, it is much different than what generally we know about the various things.
Prabhuji, other guess, may I?
Yes,
Mantra?
no,
Okay, Prabhuji.
Look it up. You'll see that.
Prabhuji, give me some hint, some related, to make it, we can recall.
no guessing. You also do some research. Next time I'll tell
Okay.
you.
Yes,
Okay,
Prabhuji,
okay,
we'll look it
Prabhuji.
up first. Then
Are there any questions, comments? None? Benji up.
प्रभुजी इन दैट केस जो भी लीलाएं होती है तो कुछ ना कुछ लेसन देती है और किसी न किसी का उद्धार भी करती है, ये हमें समझना चाहिए प्रभु जी, क्योंकि वो लास्ट चूर्णाव्रत भी था तो वो भी डिवोटी था भगवान का, उसको कर्ज दिया गया था, वो भी हमने सुना। तो ये कुछ जितनी भी जो लीला है उसमें सब भक्तों का भला ही होता है और किसी ना किसी का उद्धार भी होता है, और भगवान
Yes.
अपना जो पार्ट निभाने आए यहाँ पे, जो रेलिशिंग करना है उनको, जो आस्वादन करना है वो भी करते हैं साथ साथ में।
Absolutely.
वो अंडरस्टैंडिंग सही है प्रभु जी?
बिल्कुल सही है।
And Prabhuji, they are not here just talking like we are talking of pride of very gross things like pride of being wealthy that automatically comes. But the pride of being devotee is also harmful. It's a subtle pride, but it's a pride.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. Like if you see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he never mixed with King Prataprudra. Prataprudra had invited him many times, even to come and meet him. He always refused. Till he devised a way. This is all given in this Chaitanya Charitamrita, how he recited the Gopi Gita and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came closer to him. But all the saintly persons, they always avoid rich people, wealthy people. And not only the reason is they are proud, but because some of their wealth, money may not be earned in the proper way, which they would try to utilize for him, and that will be harmful. There are so many things. That's why we
प्रभु
should.
जी यहाँ पे एक दूसरा भी पॉइंट आता है कि चैतन्य महाप्रभु जी सन्यासी बने थे, तो सब सन्यासी को सिखाने के लिए कि उन्हें ये वर्ल्डली मटेरियलिस्टिक पीपल से बहुत ही नजदीक से संबंध नहीं रखनी चाहिए, मगर मन से तो वो इंद्रधुम को बहुत ही पसंद करते थे, ऐसा था
See, you see,
इंटरनली।
ultimately, he is the Supreme Lord. Everybody, we all, in spite of all our defects, we are very, very dear to the Lord. There is no doubt about it. And the Lord is always trying to find out good things, what good things we are doing. Bad things, if he tries to see, then we would not have been here in this position only.
Remember Indradimna, he offered to clean the streets in that procession later on is taking place in front of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He was a king and he did such a menial job.
ड्यूरिंग रथ यात्रा।
Yeah, Rath Yatra.
And even today, till today, this is the practice. The king of Puri, he sweeps. Actually, the system has changed. Now he's sweeping on the Rath only. But earlier, they used to sweep on the road only.
And remember who did Indradimna become later on in the next slide? Okay, you learn later on.
गजेंद्र।
You will learn
गजेंद्र
later on.
प्रभु
No. Prabhuji, don't give the clue right now.
Yes, I'll not say.
But think about it, okay? So next lesson is tomorrow, right?
Yes,
Tomorrow's lesson is very, very short and quick. It should be, But we might continue some of the points we covered here today in this lesson. That remember that we just learned that the sadhus don't really associate with rich people. It's not because of richness, okay? And here the question I put forward that our Acharyas explained, because common point is this: so why should not they? At least they should show their mercy to the rich people, right? But here, our Acharya said that still they should not do that. That point you read a little bit more. We might discuss in the tomorrow. Today class is up now. Tomorrow we might cover, because tomorrow we should have a lot of time. Tomorrow's lesson is relatively short and it's not much complicated. No much complicated philosophy is there, So we might continue this lessons discussion tomorrow. Some of the points we missed, we might cover tomorrow, There are still so many points I did not still cover. I could have given still another slide of questions, Okay, I think the time is up now. We might decide to conclude the lesson, conclude the class with Nashiva prayer.
Hare Krishna Bhaiji.
Haji.
हरे कृष्ण। ये जो डिवोटीज हैं, जैसे हम चैतन्य महाप्रभु का दे रहे हैं कि वो रिच पीपल से नहीं ज्यादा पसंद करते थे मिलना। एक्चुअली जो एक क्वालिटी जो है डिवोटीज में मोस्टली ऐसा पाया जाता है कि वो दे आर इनडिफरेंस, उदासीन होते हैं ज्यादा। वो उनको नहीं होता कि मैं इनसे मिलूं उससे मिलूं। एक होता है ना उदासीन, उदासीन मतलब
उदासीन मतलब न्यूट्रल, you like indifference, what is called
इंडिफरेंस, इंडिफरेंस। तो वो भी एक क्योंकि वो जो मिलते हैं इधर कांटेक्ट में आते हैं तो उनसे उनका जो डिवोशन है, भक्ति है, उसमें कुछ डिफरेंस आता है।
वो करना चाहिए, फिर भी हमारे आचार्य कहते हैं कि वो नहीं करना चाहिए, कुछ रीजन बताते हैं। that we didn't adequately discuss today, we might cover it tomorrow, but if you read that part of it, Prabhuji has supplied some of you the photocopy. Read that portion, at least my teammates, read that portion. We might revisit tomorrow, okay? Why it is so? Because on a surface, it looks like sadhus should visit rich people and give their mercy and sanctify their home and so on like that. But there's a drawback is there into that point that Acharyas point out that.
Yes, Swanji.
Okay, I think I don't want to extend too much.
Thank you.
Let's have the Shiva prayer.
Yeah, Prabhuji, I'll do the Narsimha prayer.
Yeah, please.
Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisance.
Hare Krishna.
Namaste Narasimhaya, Namaste Narasimhaya, Praladadayini, Praladadayini, Hiranyakashipu Vakshaha, Hiranyakashipu Vakshaha, Shilatankanakalaye, Shilatankanakalaye, To Narsimha, Parato Narsimha, Ito Narsimha, Parato Narsimha, Yato Yato Yami Tato Narsimha, Yato Yato Yami Tato Narsimha, Bhai Narsimha, Hridaye Narsimha, Bhai Narsimha, Hridaye Narsimha, Narasimhamadim Sharanam Prapadye, Narasimhamadim Sharanam Prapadye, Tava Karakamala Nakam, Adbhuta Shrindam, Dalita Hiranyakashipu, Tanubringam, Keshavadrita Narari Rupa, Jai Jagadish Hare, Jaya Jagadish Hare, Jaya Jagadish Hare, Tava Karakamala Nakam, Adbhuta Shringam, Dalita Hiranyakashipu, Tanubringam, Keshavadrita Narari Rupa, Jai Jagadish Hare, Jaya Jagadish Hare, Jaya Jagadish Hare, Jayo Narsimhadev, 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 Jayo Narsimhadev, Jai Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Jai Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jai Jaya Prabhupada, Jai Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, everyone. So
Hare Krishna,
we look forward. Thank you. We look forward to tomorrow's class. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhu.